Album and Beer Club.
Hello and welcome to Album and Beer Club.
Yeah, and today we are talking about The Great Escape by Blur. Yes, and The Great Escape by Blur is the final instalment of the Life trilogy with 93, Modern Life is Rubbish, Park Life 94, and then 95 is The Great Escape.
And that's the final of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Wraps it all up with the working, the upper class rather.
Yeah, it's more. It sort of more focuses on people with a bit of money and which would have been called yuppies in the 80s. I think.
Do you think that's to do with them not having any money when they had their first album in the trilogy to the second one to their later one? Is it? Do you reckon it's to do with their own financial sort of gains?
I think that's a good point. I think it is a bit like that, actually. I think they've sort of grown with the subject matters that they sing about, really. This one's it's a lot darker than what people think. It's their most commercial, but a lot of the songs do focus on the negative side of having money, which is interesting. I mean, you've got a few on here. He Thought of Cars, and it's just about people being a bit shallow. You've got
Charmless Man is somebody trying to be better than they are, sort of.
Yeah, the video. Have you seen the video to that? It's quite a good video, actually. It's so it's this bloke sort of like he's wearing a suit and he's obvious businessman and he's just frantically running around.
Oh yeah, well, I think
and the band keeps popping up and they're like pushing him out of the way. So that's that sort of explains that a little bit. Well, that's
Country House as well. I mean, that's about somebody that's living above their means, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's about the food label boss. He sold the label. He sold it to Parlophone, and bought a big house in the country. So Blur wrote about that. It's quite interesting, really. All the different themes. It was very mid-90s, about sort of the Tony Blair era, it's that kind of
where
Britpop
was massive, wasn't it, at the time. Everything was quite overblown production-wise. There was a lot going on with there.
Yeah, everything's like Make Britain sort of great.
Exactly.
A bit like Make America Great.
Well, it's like America, that's it. I don't know, they've got a hard task to make that great again. But yeah,
don't want to go down that road, do we?
Down that route at all. Yeah. But no, I remember the time because we were only in our teens when this album came out, and I remember late teens, maybe sort of late teens. Were we all the early 20s?
Well, I would have been. So it's 95, isn't it? Yeah, so I was 15, so you would have been 17, wouldn't you? 2 years ago,
like that.
And it's obviously you got the big chart competition with Oasis.
The old chart battle. Was that before this album? Was it? What songs were?
Well, it's Country House and
was it Roll With It?
Roll With It, I think. But I mean, they're not. I don't think either of those songs are particularly good, to be honest.
They're not
I think
either of those bands' best songs, but
no. And those bands, I mean, they can't be compared with each other. They're so different. It makes me laugh how people can talk about that.
Well, they're trying to do another Beatles Stones sort of
even
comparison, but
and Beatles and Stones. No, you got a blues band and a band that's good.
Yeah, but no, people always like a rivalry because when there's two popular sort of bands at the time, two sort of most popular bands, they always like to then, the media does.
Who do you like, Blur or Oasis?
Yeah, exactly that. So that's all that was. I mean, they probably didn't give a damn, the bands themselves. I doubt they even cared about it.
No, amazing publicity, really.
Well, it was for both of them, yeah.
But
album sales.
I mean, in the 90s, when you bought a single, say, I bought Charmless Man.
Yeah.
I got it on 7-inch vinyl. Vinyl wasn't that popular then, but you had an exclusive B-side. Then you remember you get CD 1, CD 2, and they all had exclusive B-sides.
Yeah.
And then you could get it on cassette. I mean, I feel sorry for the bands. Writing an album, you probably had to come up with about 50, 60 songs in the 90s.
Well, you did. I mean, well, it was similar to the '60s as well, wasn't it? When they had to write singles constantly in
Yeah.
between albums.
I'm thinking about it, I think '90s last time B-sides mattered, really.
Well, no, but yeah, because now it's all streams and stuff like that. People download stuff, and B-side isn't really there because a lot of people. Well, now vinyl's coming back a bit more, but
Maybe they might do it. Yeah,
for a long time, B-sides didn't really need to exist, did they?
No.
At all, because you didn't have a physical copy of a tape or a CD or.
I love
a
a good B-sides compilation.
Yeah.
Apart from the early Blur one, actually.
Has
I mean,
Blur
that's a
had a
bit.
B-side
Yeah,
compilation?
they have, and
Probably not as good as Oasis one, though, is it? Master Plan.
To be honest, I don't really like Oasis, but Master Plan is a very strong album.
That's a great B-side.
Yeah, and I think Blur. Well, they have got an early one. I think it's of their first three albums. Yeah, it's all right. I think they could do a really strong one for the spanning the whole career. But
I don't think I know any Blur B-sides.
No, but there's some really good ones. But that's down to the record label, isn't it? Really, I mean, if they,
oh yeah, of course it is.
If they can put that together. But I mean, yeah, the singles off Great Escape album were Country House, obviously got to number one.
Oh man, I remember the video.
I love the video.
I hated the video.
Yeah, everybody hates it, and I love it because
the
it's
most
so.
Britpop thing I've ever seen.
That's why I love it.
It was the '90s, all put together into one 3-4 minute video.
Yeah.
You had George Dawes running about. You had Joe Guest, who was a pin-up at the time.
You had a few page three.
Yeah, you
birds, dolly birds.
Anybody of that time that was doing anything was probably in that video.
Yeah.
And who was it directed by?
Damon Hirst, I think. And it's but I loved it because it was a giant mouse trap. So it's like there was loads of hidden sort of bits in there. I mean, it was silly, but I think even Keith Allen was in it as well. I think
probably in the 90s, Keith Allen popped up in every song video you could think of.
Yeah.
Obviously, World in Motion, Fat Les, all that, he was everywhere, wasn't he?
Yeah, because Fat Les is Alex James Blur's bassist. That was his band.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, with Keith Allen.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so there's a bit of the link there. But I mean, on the Country House video, Graham Coxon on the Great Escape album was going through a phase where he was thinking, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah,
he weren't happy. It was hence why the next album, Blur Blur, they went down the path of more of what he was listening to, which was like Pavement and stuff at the time. But the Great Escape album, he was not in a good place, and for the video, he didn't want to be in it, and he only agreed to be in it if he could be like a milkman or something, the milk float. And you look at the video, and he's just got the grumpiest face on ever.
That's a weird request. Yeah. I'll only be in it if I'm a milkman.
Yeah, Alex James is loving it with champagne and all over the page three ones. Graham Coxon's like, I don't want to be here.
I've only been in a video if I'm in a hot tub with all the page three girls are in a video. I mean,
well, that's what you'd expect. No,
he missed a trick with that.
He had enough by then, I think.
Yeah, well,
yeah, so that was one of the singles, and then you've got obviously we've mentioned Charmless Man and Universal.
The Universal I love.
Seen the video to that one?
No.
Clockwork Orange. That's what it's influenced by.
Are they all in a white room?
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen.
Yeah,
that,
it's quite good actually. Yeah, it's quite good. And any more? I'm trying to think if there's any more from the Stereotypes.
Was that a single?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's quite a good song.
Yeah, I really like that one. So, I mean, overall, it's a strong album. There's no songs that I dislike on it. At the time, I wasn't overly fussed because a lot of people thought it was a step too far, really. And to be honest, they pushed it as far as they could, I think. And it was it was almost like a full stop for Britpop as we know it, with the brass and the...
Yeah, I think Britpop kind of ended around that time, 95.
You did have some...
Well, 95, 96, because once it got on a little bit later on, then, the bands sort of changed a little bit, didn't they? They weren't so overblown and so like this sort of album.
Yeah, the brass and the strings got reduced a little bit, and you had a few bands still trying to do it in the late 90s, but they were a bit bit crap, really, I think. But well, this album, as with most of them, were produced by Stephen Street, who's done the Smiths as well. Hence why when we were talking earlier, we said this charming man rather than charmless man. That's the link.
I think we edited that out. So
yeah, I know, but it's a nice link.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense.
So he produced a lot of their stuff.
What do you think is the best album then? If this is the trilogy between Modern Life, Part Life, and Landscape, which do you think is the best one out of them?
I think Park Life's the strongest. I think the production.
And that's the middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was proper mid Brit.
Yeah, and not that's about the covers, but I do love covers as well, and I think that's the best covers with the Greyhounds and that.
Oh,
the whole inlay's done
like
a
Greyhound track, isn't it?
Yeah. I think The Great Escape's probably the best production, maybe mainly only because I played drums. I love the drum sound and that. So,
and the bass is good.
Yeah, I mean it's very, very clear. I mean I don't think they could cram anything else in it.
What song we listened to earlier where there was that really good bass line?
Oh, Entertain Me.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good song
on the verse. Yeah. That's quite. Well, that one, along with It Could Be You, are really good sort of upbeat album tracks. Actually, It Could Be You is the old in the 90s where you get the advert of the National Lottery with the big hand coming down to point at you. It could be you, yeah. So it's about that.
Never was though, was it?
No, but I mean, I don't know if you're the same as me. I had my set numbers.
No, never do that.
Did you? No. Did you used to do it? Did you do the lottery when it first came out?
No, only until when I was in work and I got bullied into being part of a syndicate. So, but yeah.
Oh, that's a classic, isn't it? That don't really happen now.
No, because at the end of the day, you ended up sharing a tenner, once in a blue moon.
Everyone was very excited when the lottery come out.
Yeah.
So I think that song focuses on that, really. The other ones on there, my favourite song on there is Fade Away. It's got some really nice brass in there. And it sort of shows Blur's influence. Well, I think it's a bit influenced by sort of maybe Madness. There's some
scar in there, is it?
Well, Fade Away's got a nice rhythm to it, and I think where this album's got added brass, and the fact that it's very sort of British, I do see a bit of Madness there. Obviously, the Kinks as well. I mean, now Blur's very David Bowie sort of.
Some later albums we listened to, I really heard Bowie influence massively after this sort of era. Phase of Blur, because like you say, during this sort of time they were heavily influenced by the bands before, like the Kinks and probably the Jam as well and stuff like that. All the lyrics that were very English, British.
It's like a mature Britpop. Well, it's not Britpop, but mature sort of English sounding, sort of true to themselves. I think it's a great album. It's like the granddad version of it. A bit like the Kinks. Well, like you're saying, like the Kinks are like a granddad walking along promenade, and Blur's like the grandson holding their hand.
Yeah, that's a lovely little metaphor.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
There we go with that. Yeah, so what do you think of the album artwork?
Yeah, I think
it's great. I love the front cover with the boat and the feet. Just coming out to sea. I love that because it's quite like open ended. You don't really know.
It suits the album really, doesn't it?
It does. It's just a really good image.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that Rich showed me before that it's gatefold record. There's a shark underneath the person that's dived into the sea. Dove, is that a word?
Yeah, it is now.
It is now. Yeah, so mainly that's a message.
Yeah, definitely is, yeah.
Things aren't as rosy on the surface as they are underneath.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's that, and you think everything's perfect, but you don't know what's sort of to come.
What do you think of the name of the boat? Does that have any meaning at all? Four Winds? Is this their fourth album?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, maybe that's...
well, I've never seen that before.
Well, there you go.
I've never looked at it like that.
Have another good album. I don't know.
Hang on. Leisure. Modern Life is Rubbish, Part Life. And yeah, it is, yeah. Right, yeah, so if you've got the album, have a look on the boat.
I've just unlocked a secret little message for you.
And it says Four Winds. I can't read the other bit on there.
That says Oasis are great. No, it doesn't. I don't know what that says.
Imagine if it did. It would be funny.
Yeah. Anyway, the back of the cover has got them all dressed up like 1950s detectives or something. I don't know what's going on.
It looks like that, but I think they're supposed to be businessmen.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And because it's all very sort of, well, businessmen-like.
And like you say, this trilogy was about different classes of people. So, yeah, that makes sense for them in this one. If it's about the slightly upper class sort of people, then, yeah, that makes sense. And, yeah, now we're going to talk about the beer of the week. What is it, Rich?
Beer of the week. Well, this is like all of our episodes that we're going to be doing. We're going to try and link the beers. And this one is a bit of a what would you say, like tedious link?
A bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Right, so what we are drinking today is Coors Lager.
Is that an R or an S? Coors?
What? Coors.
But isn't this Canadian?
Don't know. I ain't got my glasses on.
It's got a load of mountains on it, and
must be then.
It's as cold as the Rockies. So wherever the Rockies are.
Yeah. So basically, the link between the drink and Blur is Damon supports Chelsea
Football Club,
and in the 90s they were sponsored by Coors.
What, Blur was sponsored by Coors?
Oh fuck!
What?
No. Chelsea.
Oh.
Chelsea's shirt
was sponsored by Coors. That Damon supports Chelsea. You nearly swore on our podcast.
Well, that's all right. It's fine.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and that was 95. So I mean,
exactly
at least
when
it's exactly when the album came out. So
perfect timing. So that is our tedious link to the beer.
Yeah.
And now we've got to say what the beer is like, Rich. What do you reckon?
I actually think it's quite nice.
It's all right.
It's not anything I'd ever pick, but it's 4%. Hang on, I'll have another taste.
Yeah, it's quite weak. The last time I had this was when I went to North Wales with a friend, and we didn't like it because it's really warm and the beer's warm. So we went and visited his nan's grave.
Yeah. And
we just left 2 cans of Coors on his nan's grave because we couldn't finish.
Did she drink them?
No, she didn't. They're probably there to this day in a really, rotten bag.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's...
If anyone wants to pop to the graveyard and have a beer, there's some still there, probably.
I think flowers might be better.
Yeah, flowers were probably better. But anyway, that's that story. So that's the beer we're having today.
Yes.
And that was quite a tenuous link.
It was, but I mean, we'll add the image to it. And so you'll be able to see that. And he did wear it quite a lot. I mean, it's out in the 90s. What else are you going to have?
Yeah, there's lots of pictures of Damon wearing the Chelsea shirt with Coors.
I'm sure people will come up with other things. I mean, it's either that or have bloody Smirnoff Ice or something like that. I don't want to go down that route.
I don't want to start drinking
Alco Pops from the mid-90s.
No, definitely not.
Bacardi Breezes. Feels like your teeth are falling out.
Exactly that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm sure there's loads more to say about it, but have you got a favourite song, Dan, on the album?
The Universal on that.
Yeah. Well, it's the most mature one on there, isn't it, really?
Dan Abnormal probably should be my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
No, Charmless Man I like as well. That's a good tune.
And I really like Arnold Same, and that's got Ken, politician, Ken Livingstone.
Yeah.
He's doing spoken word on it.
Actually, that is quite good.
But yeah, funny enough, listening to this now, I used to think Blur Blur, the album afterwards, which has got Beetle Bum and Song 2 on it, and that, I used to think that was really hard to listen to, and it was it was a good album. But I don't think it's necessarily stronger than any of these ones. It's weird. I've sort of grown to like The Great Escape more and more, really.
Do you think that's the best out of trilogy then?
No, best.
No, Park Life, I think you said.
Park Life,
Yeah.
closely followed by Modern Life is Rubbish. That's really good.
And this is your least favourite?
Least favourite, but still rate it just because
it's got some big songs off it, and at the time, you know, Blur were everywhere, weren't they?
Yeah.
Those songs, you'd hear Charmless Man, you'd hear Universal.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely not my favourite Blur album. It's a bit like the last episode with the Kinks. I mean, Arthur's nowhere near your favourite.
Yeah, no one's favourite Kinks album,
It's just a good album. Same is my opinion. The Great Escape's a good album, and I think there's some interesting bits.
Yeah. Well, that will wrap up this episode, I think, for Blur and The Great Escape.
Yes.
And next time, what do you reckon we're going to go into?
Well, I think we're thinking about Nirvana Bleach.
Nirvana Bleach. If any of you Nirvana fans out there don't know what Bleach is, then you're not a Nirvana fan.
No.
Anyway, that's the end of this.
Yeah, don't forget to
like and subscribe
yes.
on all our channels. And yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Album and Beer Club.